Guys, don't forget to like, share and join our Telegram channel by clicking on the link which you can find in the description below. Remember, this is our only official Telegram channel, so do not be scammed. If you do not have Telegram, you can always download it so you can interact with us. Hi guys, welcome back. We're back with another video, and today we're going to be looking at a projection that we had on Euro NZD in the daily time frame. All right, so looking at this, when I actually saw this opportunity right here, we can clearly see that from this area, I mean, the market direction was clear to see that we were in an up phase. Right, but what I liked about this order block here was it broke the structures, and I like how price moved away from that, and that said a lot about this zone. All right, and the orders right there that have to be filled in future, right? And I also liked the price approach back to that area, right? I like it when price takes its time to get back to an order block. So I wanted to see price get to this area and then look for opportunities to go long, right? So if we go to the chart, this is what happened on this area. I actually wanted to see price get down here, as you can see on the markup, right? But price didn't really get there, right? So what I'm going to show you today is if price doesn't really get there, because sometimes it does not get there, but at the end of the day, this is still considered a valid order block, right? Depending on how you mark up your order blocks, right? Okay, so in this case, we wanted to see price get here, and price did not get there, right? Price did not get there. So how can you approach such, right? How can you then look for entries if you see that price did not get there, but we can see that price is actually now moving away from that zone? So if we look at the 4-hour time frame, this is what we can see, right? We had price getting down to this area, all right? As you can see there, right? We had price getting to that area, and then as price got to that area, what you look for is, you can see price pushed up, broke structure, right? If we can zoom in on that, you can see, okay, price moved up, broke structure, right? Got all the way down here. Wasn't really a clean order block for me, but you can see price reacted to that, right? And then what do we have? Got price moving away from that, also breaking structure. All right, but one thing you need to keep in mind is, as price broke this structure, we actually had a rally, base rally, right? You can't see this in the H4, but if you move down to your H1, you'll be able to see it clearly there, right? As you can see, rally, base rally, which led to the break of that structure, right? So in this case, this would be a very, a nice area that I'd actually look for entries. Right, that would be a nice area that you can keep an eye on for entries. As you can see, price then made its way down there, and we had a nice move to the upside, right? So you had an opportunity, right, to actually enter this market right here, and as you can see, this was an amazing move to the upside, which led to the break of this structure, right? Remember, we're still sticking to that higher time frame bias, right? So looking at the H4, right, remember we had this area right here, this zone was the one responsible for the break of these structures, multiple structures, this structure, also this structure, and that structure, right? So as you can see, price then took its time, right, and then finally went back to that area, and as you can see, you had multiple opportunities to actually enter and ride this, right? Yet another opportunity here to actually take this to the upside, right? So this is the importance of really understanding what price is doing and how you can minimize your risk, and take good trades, right? So we can also look at this from the BTMM perspective, and looking at this from the higher time frame, this is what we had, and this is the reason why we had more confluence, right? As you can see from this peak formation down here, we had a 1350 crossover confirming the lock of this peak down here, right? So a nice high probable trade would be a 50 bounce, but remember, this is your daily time frame, so this would be a reset in your H4. As you can see, this is where we had that reset. This was actually an H4 reset, right? This was an H4 reset. If we also look at our TDI, this is what we had. You can see they were all in the bands, giving you a pattern there. Was going to be better if we had a shark fin, but this was all good. As you can see, that RSI then crossed over that red line and the market baseline, which is the yellow line, right? So we had a very nice, move away from that. So if we look at it from the BTMM perspective, our peak formation was right here, right? This was the peak formation. So we're going to look at it from the M15, right? Let me just highlight that area. Right, so it happened here, right? Let me just double check. Yes, that is where we had that reset playing out. Okay, so if we look at it from the M15, where we can actually get a a nice entry if we are looking to enter the market. Nothing really happened here, right? We had a trap. This trap happened during Asian session, as you can see, that pin right there, right? And then price never really came back down there, right? So this was actually on a Friday, right, when this happened. So on the Monday, remember, we always have a false move week beginning, right? So as you can see, false move up, and then we had a trap just below this area, right? We had a trap just below the Asian range, right? And this actually happened where this happened on our stop hunt box, right? So from the stop hunt box, further confluence, you can see we had price moving away from that extreme point right there, right? A nice area from that extreme point, as you can see. And then we had the RSI crossing over, and also crossing over on that market baseline. So that would have been a nice entry, right, if you're looking at it from the BTMM perspective, right? If you're looking at it from that perspective, let me see if I can actually see what we had there, right? Yeah, this is the area. Let me just double check. Is it? Yeah, that's the area. So this means that without the indicators and all that, to keep it very simple, this is what we had, right? We had an area right here, right? And we can see how price moved away from that. So this was our order block, right? If you're looking at it from a 1 hour, because we need something clean, right? So that's where we had a nice zone, right? It was already tapped there, so price then went back to that area. But if you look at it from the BTMM perspective, we just had a stop hand just below that, and then price continued pushing up, right? So after that, you can see the only trade we also had some counter trades that you can take advantage of, but I don't really like trading that. And then we had price. So you can see the timing on this was a bit different, right? These picks were on this pair were happening, towards the end of the day during Asian session. Same thing that happened on Friday, right? At the opening on Friday, we had a trap during Asian session, so we had a nice opportunity to trade there, right? And as you can see, we had these deep stop hands, right? Very deep stop hands. But looking at it from the H1, if that's your peak formation, fine, it goes up, right? After having a 50-200 crossover, high probability trades can be a bounce off the 200 EMA, or sometimes it can be a trap below that. And in this case, this trap below was good because we had this, right? We had an order block right there, and as you can see, we are continuing with that up move, right? So after this peak formation, it happened right here. As you can see, we had a 1350 crossover, and we had that bounce off the 50 EMA, right? So these rules are the same, guys. If we go to the daily, we had a 1350 crossover confirming the peak, the lock of this peak, and then we had the bounce on that 50 EMA. Going down to the H1, same thing happened, right? Reset that we have right there, right? Because I mean, if you count the levels here, this is what you're going to have, right? This is going to be from the peak formation. That's your level 1, right? Got that pullback, that being your level 2, right? And then we had this mini level 3. That was probably news there. Not sure what happened. So then after that, we can see we've got a half of Batman type setup giving us the reset, right? So this was going to be a nice one. So after that reset peak, 1350, and then the bounce, which actually happened yesterday, right? So if you go to the M15, this is what you had, right? So after that 50-200 crossover, you had a nice peak formation, right? A very nice peak formation on that 200 EMA. So a good entry would be a close above 13 EMA, right there. Right guys, hope you guys learned something from this. If you are new here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell icon to be the first to watch when we upload any new content. Have you been struggling to make consistent profits in the forex market or not had enough time to analyze the market and trade? At MMK, we have experienced and qualified traders who analyze the markets and send signals directly to your phone. We are highly selective traders and we provide 5 to 10 signals weekly and a minimum pip count of 1,000 pips monthly. Join the winning team and stop donating your money to brokers.